Now we're on to metamorphic rocks. With metamorphic rocks, we have the two major groups of foliated and non-foliated. So foliated is layered. These are what happens when you get these layered sedimentary or igneous rocks. When they get a lot of pressure, those layers become more defined. So a great example of this is slate. Slate is when you get the fine mud-grained, fine-grained mudstone or shale, gets a lot of heat and pressure, becomes very hard slate. So it's much, much more solid than the shale was. And it comes in different colors depending on whether it's oxidized or not, what was in that mud that made that shale in the first place. As you move down the list, the phylite, schist, and gneiss are all the same minerals. So they have quartz, mica, feldspar, amphibole, pyroxene, but with the gneissic banding, it's a much harder rock. Like, you can't get anything coming off of it. With the phylite and the schist, you can actually, the process isn't quite as difficult. So this is schist because not too much is coming off. A little bit is coming off on my hands. You can see the sparkles from the pieces of mica that have come off my hands. Because if you remember, mica has one layer of perfect cleavage, so it flakes off and gets all sparkly. Phylite would just like fall apart almost because it hasn't had quite as much pressure pushing it together. So the gneissic banding can come in a couple of different forms. But it's a pretty simple rock, and you can see on this side it's been weathered. So that's, we were talking about chemically and physically, this side has been weathered, this side has been inside in a box, so you can still see. And you might, this is why it's important to smash your rock with a hammer and get to see those insides. In the non-foliated section, we have quartz and marble, or quartzite and marble. So quartzite is when you get sandstone that's made mostly of quartz that gets heat and pressure, it turns into quartzite. It's almost always a pretty white color, but it can be slightly different colors. Marble is when you get limestone or dolomite become heat and pressure. The crystals sort of, because that heat sort of allows those crystals to reform a little bit, and it makes those bonds a little tighter. So again, because this is calcite, if I can get it to focus. It's having trouble focusing. It will fizz up. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's white on white with the weird lighting, but it is fizzing. So this is marble, not quartzite. And you can see those quartz crystals in this particular specimen. Those are our metamorphic rocks.